What if I told you that one phone call changed everything for me? My own mother was 72 years old at the time. She called me from a clinic waiting room and said, "Melanie, they want to give me this vaccine, and I just want to check with you first." When she told me which vaccine it was, I immediately told her, "Mom, stand up, grab your purse, and walk out of there right now. Do not let them give you that shot." She sounded confused. She said the nurse told me it was recommended. I explained that recommended does not always mean it is right for you. That moment stayed with me because it made me realize something important. If my own mother almost received a vaccine that could have posed a serious risk at her age, then how many other parents and grandparents are sitting in waiting rooms, rolling up their sleeves without asking questions? Before you assume where this discussion is heading, let me be clear about who I am and where I stand. My name is Melanie Sander. I am not against vaccines. I believe in immunization. Vaccines have saved millions of lives, and they continue to do so. I have supported vaccination throughout my medical career, but I also believe that not every vaccine is appropriate for every person at every age. Once someone crosses the age of 60, the body operates differently. The immune system changes, organs process substances differently, risk factors shift. A vaccine that is completely appropriate for a younger adult can become problematic for someone in their 60s, 70s, or 80s. That is not fear. That is medicine and science. Today, I will walk you through 5 specific vaccines that I would not want my own parents to receive after the age of 60. Some of these may surprise you because they are routinely offered in clinics and pharmacies. By the end, you will understand why I feel strongly about each one and what safer alternatives may exist. Let us begin with the first vaccine, which almost affected my mother. The first is the live attenuated influenza vaccine, commonly known as FluMist. This is the nasal spray version of the flu vaccine. Many people prefer it because there is no needle. It seems simple and painless. However, FluMist contains a live weakened virus. For a young, healthy person with a strong immune system, this is usually not an issue. The body recognizes the virus, builds antibodies, and moves on. But for someone over 60, the situation is different. In fact, this vaccine is not approved for people over 49, yet there have been cases where it was still offered to older adults. As we age, the immune system naturally declines in a process known as immunosenescence. This means the body responds more slowly and less effectively. Introducing a live virus into that environment can lead to unpredictable reactions. Some older adults have experienced prolonged flu-like symptoms and respiratory complications after receiving the nasal spray vaccine. There are safer alternatives specifically designed for older adults, such as the high-dose flu vaccine and the adjuvanted flu vaccine. These are formulated to strengthen the immune response without using a live virus. If someone over 60 is offered the nasal spray flu vaccine, it is better to request one of these inactivated options. The second vaccine is the older shingles vaccine called Zostavax. Before 2020, many people received this vaccine. It was also a live vaccine containing a weakened form of the varicella zoster virus, which causes chickenpox and later shingles. The issue with Zostavax was that its effectiveness dropped significantly in older adults, especially those over 70. In people over 80, its effectiveness was extremely low. Because it was a live vaccine, it also carried risks for individuals with weakened immune systems. There were cases where people developed shingles-like symptoms after vaccination. The good news is that Zostavax has been replaced by Shingrix, which is a recombinant, non-live vaccine. Shingrix has over 90% effectiveness even in adults over 70 and does not contain a live virus. If shingles protection is needed, Shingrix is the preferred option. The third vaccine is the yellow fever vaccine. While not part of routine care, it becomes relevant for older adults who travel internationally to areas where yellow fever is present. This vaccine is highly effective, but it is also a live vaccine and carries one of the highest risk profiles for people over 60. Older adults have a significantly increased risk of serious adverse reactions, including a rare condition where the vaccine virus spreads throughout the body and causes severe organ damage. Although rare, the risk rises with age and with underlying health conditions. In some cases, a medical waiver or reconsideration of travel plans may be the safer path. The fourth vaccine is the oral typhoid vaccine known as Vivotif. This capsule form contains a live attenuated strain of bacteria. Again, the pattern is clear. Live vaccines in older adults require careful consideration. The oral typhoid vaccine can cause more pronounced gastrointestinal symptoms in older individuals and may interact with medications they are already taking. There is an injectable typhoid vaccine that uses an inactivated form of the bacteria and does not carry the same risks as the live oral version. If typhoid protection is necessary, the injectable option is generally safer for someone over 60. The fifth and final vaccine is BCG, which stands for Bacillus Calmette-Guerin. It is primarily used against tuberculosis. In many countries, it is given during childhood, but in certain circumstances, an older adult might be considered for it. BCG is also a live vaccine. It contains a live attenuated strain of Mycobacterium bovis. In older adults, especially those with weakened immune systems, there have been cases where the vaccine bacteria spread throughout the body, leading to serious infection. Treatment for such complications can be long and difficult, particularly for aging organs. In most situations, alternative strategies such as preventive medications or exposure reduction are safer than introducing a live bacterium into an older immune system. The key message is not to reject vaccines. The message is to ask questions and to individualize care. After 60, the body changes, and medical decisions should reflect those changes. Careful, thoughtful evaluation can make all the difference in protecting health during the later decades of life.